Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging. Ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven. Got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that. It's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities that never come unless you paying attention. So no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record. I might have to pro something. Big jumper worthy. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming. Had to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice. I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my big dog walking big talk. Young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship. I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in. They gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain. The cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend. Not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element. Yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it. Yeah. I've been married to this hustle. This is my ring. Watch out, step in it. Yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out, touchdown. Pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed. The cut down is for us now. Have to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice. I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my. Yeah.
Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. But need cheap keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, We broke through our 786, the key level that we needed to get above in order to call for some higher prices. We have finally broken above that level. Are we about to see a breakout here, or are we going to get the big correction to the downside? As always, I'm going to cover both sides of the coin for you guys, let you know how I'm handling this price action, what the next targets to the upside are, and if we do get a a pullback, I'm going to show you guys the key levels that I'm looking at for price to bounce off of if we do get some kind of a cool off here, just because, I mean, we do have some money flow coming out, but as you guys know, since last Friday, right, as we sit up against key resistance, I kind of had to go against my strategy a little bit as we were at key resistance with bearish divergences. We've only been catching little scalp shorts to the downside. However, the going against our strategy here, just understanding the context of the market, anticipating another move to the upside just by understanding, looking at the order flow and understanding that this is a very strong uptrend, not getting overly bearish, even though we were at resistance, it wound up paying off. So we are breaking that 786, guys. So I want to talk about some key levels today and some of those next targets to the upside. Maybe we'll talk about some all-time high targets if we're going to go ahead for that break. But yeah, we'll cover the bullish case, the bearish case. I'll let you guys know which way I'm leaning, and we'll give you all the key levels. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Shout out to Al Jr. Shouting out the Frankie Candles Essentials Indicator. He seems to be having a great time with that free indicator. Shout out to Al Jr. We got G65 in the chat. We got Still Working. What is going on? He says, up and away, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Still Working. We got Ryan Smith said, I shorted 107, 178 YOLO. Hey, nice entry, bro. Nice entry. Johnny December in the chat. What is going on? We got Nick Dunn. Jesse, the like police. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we will give away some Frankie Candles hats, maybe. Maybe we'll do that. We'll add some hats to the giveaways. Maybe we'll add some more crypto. I don't know, but smash it up, guys. Let's go for 1,000 today. We got Benjamin in the chat. Shout out to Benjamin. Says LFG. We got Curtis Reese shouting out Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. We got Madzilla in the chat. What is going on? We got Lars, Simon, Jay Violet. We got everybody in the chat tonight, guys. So without further ado, shout out to the CandleMafia. How are we feeling today, guys? Are we bullish? Are we feeling like it's a bull trap? How are you feeling? Let me know in the chat. Let's see what the chat thinks. Key level smash. What's our next target? 107K and beyond, all-time high soon. That's pretty much been my bias here since Friday. So we're going to take a look at it here, guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, as we have been looking at this key level, and I'm just going to kind of break down kind of why I've had to go against my bias, not my bias, but why my bias has been going against my general strategy here, guys. As you know, when we look at these macro volume profiles, and I guess technically we're still not fully out of the water yet, but as we know, guys, you know, when we look at these major volume profiles on the higher time, I mean, on any volume profile, right? Like typically we push into these highs, guys. We have to be aware that this is key resistance, and oftentimes we do get pullbacks. We got a little bit of a pullback. Yesterday, we came back into the range. Then we're starting to peak back out here. But as you guys know, I've said this many a times. Even this yesterday, I was saying this. It's not often, guys, that we sit at a value area high like this, and I'm not just calling for lower prices, right? But we have not been doing that just because of the context of the market. We've been talking about how not only is Bitcoin just bullish on, pretty much every single time frame, right? Overall, on the higher time frames like the weekly, massive uptrend. I always say this is why we were not freaking out at 75K, not thinking the bear market was here because, generally we're just in an uptrend. You don't break major market structure. And then you come on down to the daily, right? We're just in a majorly strong uptrend here. Bitcoin giving almost zero chances to get into the long positions. And, this is kind of what's given me that bias. And every single low that we made here within our local range, almost every single low here was had bullish CVD divergences, which is very nice to see, right? You come down, you get the bullish CVD. We just continue to put in the higher lows. We were comparing it to this kind of consolidation range yesterday. You just keep putting in those higher lows. You get the rip to the upside, keep putting in the higher lows. And our anticipation here was hopefully to get that rip to the upside, which, I mean, we have seen today, right? It's not like we've ripped up to any, like, extreme price levels just yet. But, the bias has been correct, even though, right? And this is the difficult part about trading, guys, because, like, you put me on this chart, right? And I don't know the full context. I'm looking at this and I'm like, hey, we're at a value area high. I am looking to giga short this thing, probably down to the POC. But that has not been the case here. And it just shows the importance of understanding the context of the market and just really understanding the environment that you're trading in, right? Pretty much ever since we got above this POC, it's been lackluster or conservative with the shorts, greedy with the longs. And, Yeah, I mean, it's just, and here we are, right? We had our key level yesterday. If I could just pull this up real quick, our Fibonacci. Well, actually, let me pull it up on a lower time frame here. We had our 786 Fibonacci retracement. As you guys know, as we came up to this level, this was that level that yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday, we were coming up to this key Fibonacci retracement, and if we were going to be looking for lower highs and lower lows, this was likely going to be the place to do it. And we kind of started cracking above that level. We got stuck back underneath it. We came back down. But once again, guys, we just put in another higher low and crack into higher prices. And we have just broken that 786 Fibonacci retracement, which is obviously that big level we've been looking at that could potentially open the door to our next key targets, and guys, potentially new all-time highs. And that has kind of been my anticipation. If you guys watch the channel, you will know ever since we got above this POC, that greatly increased the chances of us seeing new all-time highs soon. And what happened, guys? We broke above that level. We got to rush through that liquidity into the value area high as we would expect. Turbulence at that value area high as we would expect. And now we are potentially looking to get a breakout here into our next key targets, which, as you guys know, is sitting or I should say are sitting at the daily and weekly naked point of controls, sitting right up here. Next major target that I will be looking at, all right, I don't even know if I want to say major, but like our next local target, there's not a lot of resistance up here, guys. And like I said, you know, if we were going to look for that lower high, it would have had to come in at that 786. And once we get above it, invalidation of that lower high is now there, right? It is completely invalidated, and as long as we can hold on top of that level, I do see a potential move into that daily naked point of control, sitting at $107,933, up into that weekly MPOC at $108,999. And yeah, guys, this is going to be that next major target that I'm looking at, and we all know once we get above here, guys, there is not much above us other than the all-time high, right? The only other, you know, kind of price action we have up there is the actual all-time high, which is coming in at about $109,880. So this is, I'm just going to mark this as ATH just so we know what we're looking at. So yeah, that is going to be like kind of the next major level that I'm going to be interested in to look for some kind of like maybe a little bit of a pullback. But once we get above there, guys, push above that all-time high. We talked about how the market, you know, crypto in general is just a completely irrational market. And, you know, once we start putting in new all-time highs, it's when you start to see Bitcoin on the news, you start to see people FOMO in, and that is sometimes where we can see extreme rips to the upside. We also do have liquidity sitting above here. So I'm just going to say it, guys. I mean, I'm very, very happy that we have not just been giga shorting this high. We had taken a couple scalp. We actually caught a scalp short. We caught a scalp short in the Discord earlier today. Really just kind of scalping around today with the volatility. But if we're able to get, I mean, this is the last line of defense before all-time high, and then all-time high. At that point, guys, like maybe like the only other thing, right? If I had to like look at some kind of like more bearish bias, you know, I would have to say like the only thing that we can do from here, unless the little SFP that we saw from here winds up playing out in a huge way. And I will show, guys, I don't know if you can see it on the chart right now. It makes it really difficult for me. I'll be totally honest, guys. Like, we do have like a high time frame bear divs potentially looking to print. Maybe they get invalidated. They're not printing just yet. But if we can like print that red dot, technically there is a 12-hour and 16-hour bearish divergence into the value area high, which could be looked at as a potential signal for a pullback. But again, context is always going to be king. We're above that 786. I am still feeling pretty good. But yeah, we push up into that all-time high, guys. The only other thing I can see here is maybe an SFP of the all-time high. But you know, as always, we took a look at this yesterday, right? Back here when we had the all-time high, we came up, we SFP, we got the massive correction to the downside. It's an opportunity, right? Like, you know, we could see that SFP. Either it's going to show up or it's not. It's either going to play out or it's not. But again, anytime you short like near an all-time high, it's very, very dangerous, right? Because you have the ability to have that FOMO come in. And I don't know. I'm just not a fan, especially on crypto. Like, I'm not really a fan of shorting, you know, potential breaks into new all-time highs. And this has been our bias, guys, ever since we broke above this golden pocket. So, you know, we're just sticking with that bias, right? Like, we're just seeing the bullish trend continue. Money flow is still thick in the green here on the higher time frames. And as long, right, the only thing is as long as this 12-hour bearish divergence, right, or 16 and 12-hour, right? I mean, there's obviously other time frames as well. Actually, really, yeah, like maybe an 8-hour bear div. Like if these high time frame bear divs and in a massive uptrend, guys, you want to remember bearish divergences are great signals for a reversal. Even if it is to come down and put in a higher low, anytime you come up to a key level and you see price making a higher high on price action into the key level with lower highs on your momentum waves or your RSI or wherever you're looking for those divergences at, it's typically a pretty good sign for some kind of a pullback to come in. But in a very, very strong uptrend, we've covered this many a times, in a very aggressive push to the upside, bearish divergences, even on the higher time frames, can really just show up as little tiny pullbacks or just sideways consolidation. I could try to find one here. Yeah, you could see here, I mean, these aren't the prettiest divergences, but, even, let me try to find a better example here in a massive uptrend. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, this was kind of an aggressive pullback, but it was pretty short-lived, right? Kind of just wicked down, liquidated a bunch of longs, and then came back to the upside. But in aggressive uptrends, right, a lot of times what it will show up as is just a slight pullback or even just some sideways consolidation. So, again, right, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to go to zero. The only thing I wouldn't like about those divergences here on the higher time frames is that it is happening at a very key level of resistance, right? But my bias here still is going to be generally bullish. I just want to be very clear, it is going against what I typically look at, right? Anytime I see this, I'm just like, wow, hey, that's a beautiful, beautiful short opportunity. But context, just ever since before we came up to 107K over the weekend, just that sneaking suspicion based off of what we've seen happen here, this aggressive uptrend and the context of the market, just that sneaking suspicion that we might just start grinding to the upside, and the overall bias of flipping that golden pocket, increasing the likelihood of seeing those all-time highs. So pretty exciting stuff here, guys. I'm not going to lie. We're going to take a look at the altcoins in just a minute. But just remember here, if we do continue up, next major key level is going to be sitting right here. Daily and weekly MPOC sitting between 107,933 and 108,999. After that, all-time high. Again, maybe you get a little SFP there, but I mean, it's hard to say, right? I don't like shorting. I don't like shorting all-time highs like that. But here, and I just don't know what the probabilities of just getting the huge sweep of liquidity here and getting the massive pullback. I just don't really. The whole context here, right? The fact that we came down here, we got the SFP of the high, got the massive pullback into our 786 Fibonacci retracement, where you could be looking for higher lows to potentially anticipate higher highs to come. So I just, I don't feel as good about shorting the all-time high here. But if we see an SFP, I might take a little scalp short, move my stop loss to break even, let it ride down. If it pops me out in profit, then that's no big deal. But I'm definitely going to be caution there, right? Shorting all-time highs on Bitcoin is just typically not a great idea. But it is there, right? I just want to make sure you guys are prepared for, kind of every scenario that can happen. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking at, guys. It's not looking too shabby. The only thing going against us is that 12 and 16 hour bear div. You could also argue that these red dots looking to print on the higher time frames could give us a bigger pullback as well. But yeah, we'll see if we break out of this. I mean, we're above that 786, which is exactly what we wanted to see. It's not on the chart right this second. Let me just pull it up real quick. Bada boom, right from this high. Come on, all the way to the low. We're invalidating. This is the area that we would have, if we were going to get accepted into this range, guys, I'm not going to lie, I would have expected it to come in right here, right? You would have got accepted into the range, put in a lower high in that golden pocket 786 zone, and then get the bigger pullback. And we just faked it out, popped back up, and it's still looking good. So yeah, I mean, hey, my bias remains the same, guys. We're just seeing what we were looking for play out, which is kind of makes me feel good, because I hate going against my general strategies, but I don't do it often, and when I do, thank God, at least in this case, it wound up working out. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to jump into chat real quick. I'm going to cover a few more things, and then we will jump into some of the altcoins. Look at the heat map. Shout out to Jake. I actually was going to pull up some heat maps today, so let's go ahead and see if we can pull that up real quick. Bada boom. Let me see. What do we want to pull up here? Let's pull up the 2-week real quick. Bada boom. Let's see. And I'm going to talk about the key levels below that I'm going to be looking at. I'll be honest here, guys. On the 2-week heat map, let me just make sure all the settings are correct. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, especially because, when we came up here, man, we swept the liquidity. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, guys. The next significant area of liquidity, at least sitting here on the 2-week, we could check the 1 month as well, but we do have some around $83,000 to $84,000. And then we do have some, this is still sitting down here at about $92,000 towards our previous range value area low. But again, it doesn't guarantee, right, that we have to come down and sweep that liquidity, right? Just because we have that hotspot of liquidity down there does not guarantee we have to go down there. So yeah, I mean, closer, between about 100 and 12 to about 114.5 is the next significant area of liquidity, sitting right up here, right? And then if we take a look at our next targets to the upside, I'll turn off those daily and weekly MPOCs because there's not going to be any up there as we don't have any price action up there, obviously. But if we pull our Fibonacci extension that we have been looking at for ages now, pull it from the current all-time high all the way to the low here at about $74,384. And we'll pull up those extension levels. Bada boom. Our next extensions pulled from the all-time high to the bottom of this range, or I don't know if you want to still call this a range, but $118,000. And, if we do pull this more local Fibonacci retracement, I do believe we do have some confluence on those liquidity zones. Yeah, up to about $114,000, between $112,000 and $114,000, we do have a Fibonacci extension. Again, I would anticipate the daily and weekly MPOCs to give us some kind of reaction. If not, break the all-time high and we start squeezing to the upside. Let me just bring this all-time high back up real quick. Bada boom. Label it so we know what we're looking at. ATH. Right? I would say, let me just, man, it's going to be so annoying to erase those. But, if we do come up, right, we have the daily and weekly MPOCs. Let me just pull those up. Bada boom. Both of those are confluent with these two Fibonacci levels. Let me just go ahead and pull that up, mark it out with the box, right? So if we continue up, we were above that 786, the level we wanted to break yesterday. Get out of here. If we do get the squeeze between $112,000 and $114,000, might be the first all-time high, right? The first new all-time high local zone to look at. And, I've covered this in the past. Let me pull up the Bitstamp chart really quickly here. Let me just hide some of this. Bada boom, bada bing. Get rid of this. If we do pull our macro extensions here, a lot of people when they ask me, hey, Frankie, where do you think Bitcoin's going to top out for this cycle? I will pull this fib from an all-time high in 2021 all the way to the bear market lows. Obviously, guys, that was our first stop here on our first Fibonacci zone. We got that turbulence. We cooled off. I'm just saying, I just remaining the same here, guys. If we break out, again, we have the local targets, but the next major targets, there's probably going to be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of turbulence in between. But, maybe that next big target, right? Like even here, right? Like we broke above the all-time high, but we caught a little turbulence. But then that first major target was on that Fibonacci extension zone. Kind of similar here, right? We might break that high, come into some of those local levels, get a little turbulence. But once we really put in a massive new all-time high, on the higher time frames, between 137 and 155K would be the next major macro target for Bitcoin for a new all-time high, in my personal opinion. But again, we're going to play it level to level, looking at these local targets as well, between 112 and 114. And then after that, not much above you until about 109, almost 120K, right? So these are the next targets to the upside. We'll see if we can push into those daily and weekly MPOCs, break above that, push into these Fibonacci extension levels. Once again, 112,463 into 114,256. Break above that, we're looking up towards about 119,438. Man, isn't that crazy? How quickly sentiment can change. And from, oh my God, this is terrible, it's never going back up, to, oh my God, new all-time highs, right? It's really wild how quickly things can change. And we even talk about that, right? Like all it takes, and not necessarily saying that this was based off one tweet or anything like that, but all it takes is one push to the upside, and all of a sudden, the whole sentiment changes, right? Like crypto is an extremely emotional place. People, especially when you have new retail coming in up here, they don't get rich in a week, and they're like, what the heck? This is a total scam. It's going to zero. And then it just changes faster than you could think, right? Insane. And just remember this, right? Remember this happens next time you're in a situation where you're really scared on a big pullback. So just be aware of that and just understand that, like, especially if you're going to hold crypto over time, guys, this is why I'm such a crypto bull long term, right? Like, for example, my spot Bitcoin bags bought down here, I'm like never probably going to be, I'm not very likely not going to ever be worried about that again. Now, obviously, I'm going to take profit on the way up if we do continue the upside. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, even if you round trip, right? Like if you're buying the bottom of the bear markets, guys, like I have a certain portion of Bitcoin that I'll never sell, right? Like I'm going to take profits on the way up, and I'm like, there's going to be Bitcoin I don't touch. I'm holding for 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is, for the rest of my life until I can give it to my kids. And I mean, Bitcoin is the world's strongest asset, guys. We talked about this the other day, right? We've just been in a bull run ever since pretty much Bitcoin was a thing. Up and to the right. Oh my God, so scary. That's okay. Oh my God, so scary. That's okay. Oh my God, so scary. That's okay. And then this is what everyone was, worried about before. Oh my God, so scary. It's okay, right? Now it doesn't mean that we can't come back down. I don't. I like to approach this channel, guys, like completely unbiasedly, right? That's why I like to cover the bullish case, and we're traders. So, bullish case and bearish case is always a thing, right? Like you're always going to have to look at both sides of the coin. Not going to lie, though, right now I am feeling pretty good. And the only thing, right, if we do get a bigger correction here, the only thing that I would really worry about is keeping an eye on these these higher time frame bearish divergences. Hopefully, we don't confirm those. And if we do confirm them, hopefully we just get like a little pullback again. Maybe we wiggle back down in here and we could just get back above. Biggest key level to remain above, other than the 786 that we just broke that we were looking at yesterday, other than that, right, I would say the biggest level to stay above is obviously going to be the value area high of the range, right? These ranges are amazing, right? Because when you bing bong around in them, hey, we're looking for the longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, so on and so forth, right? And then when you lose the range and you come back up, you could use it as a guide to say, hey, if we break above that value area low, POC is very likely going to be next. And we walked you guys through this step by step, not only today, but every single time we're in this situation. Break above the POC, go to the value area high, but we're not going to stick in this range forever, right? So you can't just always just approach every value area high from the binary perspective of that's it, bearish divergences, we have to go down to the low, right? Because if we're in a massive uptrend, you have to anticipate that the trend is going to continue. The trend is your friend until the end. And we have the daily money flow crossed over into the green. Thick in the green. That is very, very nice. 2-day money flow is attempting still. We came into the green a little bit. Hopefully, this is just going to be a higher low on our money flow to come back into a bigger green wave. And we've looked at this yesterday. The 2-day money flows, guys, with monthly green dots have typically given us massive moves to the upside. 2-day money flow crossover into the green, also in line with a monthly green dot. Massive leg to new all-time highs. 2-day money flow crossover with a monthly green dot. Massive leg, not to new all-time highs, right? Well, yeah, I guess 2 new all-time highs, right? So we are potentially, right? We don't have that 2-day money flow crossover just yet, but it is looking pretty good. We just need that money flow to cross over into the green, and if you're here, and you don't know all the key Fibonacci levels, all the MPOCs, all the like more complicated stuff that we look at, one really simple thing to look at is this 2-day money flow, right? And now it's not going to get you a sniper entry at the bottom, obviously, but it is just a good thing to look at, right? To understand, right? Like you could see here, well, in this context, right, we were looking for longs at the value area low, right? So, not that we're ever really, you have the 2-day money flow crossover, you're already up, from the bottom, you're already up about 41%, but that 2-day money flow crossover is really where that explosion to the upside happens. So fingers crossed that we're able to see the same thing happen. Again, the only word of caution that I would give is these 12 and potentially 16-hour bear divs if they print, right? They're not even printing yet. If they don't print and we just squeeze to the upside, these momentum waves will likely make higher highs, right? Or at least not make lower highs, right? Because to have the bearish divergence, you need the higher highs on price, lower highs on your momentum waves. If we could just squeeze up a little bit and break that high, it invalidates the idea of those bearish divergences. So we'll see what happens. Value area high is sitting at $106,443. It's really the level that we want to maintain support above. Obviously, the 786 is important, but at the end of the day, we just don't want to get stuck back under this value area high, because if that bear div gets us stuck back in here and we can't get back out, then maybe we could look at the idea of a bigger correction to the downside. But until then, we're seeing exactly what we wanted. Just, again, come down another higher low and another squeeze to the upside. I'm going to stick with the trend, and maybe it proves us wrong. But yeah, I think that we are, we're looking up here, in my opinion. If we break down below the value area high, maybe you look for a little bit more of a correction. But again, you have to be careful here, guys, because any corrections we've been getting, right? Pull up that scalp range here, break to the upside. Oh, we cool off, right? Just still holding those higher lows. Oh my God, breakout. Oh, wait, no, now we're rejecting. Higher low. We flip that value area high to support. This looks like a pretty, in my opinion, as of right now, this looks like a pretty good breakout of this value area, right? Deviate below the low, get back in, POC, value area high. Above, POC, value area low. Below, POC, value area high, back to the low, back to the high, right? But we just continue to put in those higher lows. And on this breakout, not only did we put in a higher low, but we held the value area high as support. This is typically what we like to see for a big breakout out of the range. And similar, what we're going to be looking at on that higher time frame range, right? Like we hope for the breakout, and maybe we come up to the daily and weekly MPOCs, and then we cool off, right? But at that point, what we're going to want to see is a flip of the value area low. If we get the pullback, that's going to be your biggest key level of support. Flip that to support. Whew, that could be nice for a much bigger breakout. And maybe at that point, you have your 2-day money flow crossing over into the green. starting that next big leg to the upside. This does not mean, I want to be very clear, right? We're going up from here, guys. That's it. Straight up in a line. Everybody get in right now. I want to be very clear, right? I want to be like somewhat responsible here. I don't want anyone to get FOMO. You got to control those emotions, guys. You don't want to FOMO in at the you don't want to FOMO in at the top. But we're just here reading the TA, and it's guided us all the way here. So we're just going to keep looking at that, and hopefully we can get the continuation to the upside. I'm going to jump into chat really quickly here. Shout out to Jesse. Said, okay, I'm getting something to drink. BRB, then we have 800 likes. By the time Jesse gets back, let's get it to 800 likes. Jesse, actually go right now, and let's see if we can run up to 800 likes. It would be hilarious if we can get that done. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, shout out to Perry. We'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance right now, actually. Lars wants to see Brett and Peak. We could try to take a look at Brett and Peak tonight. I have some written down here. We're going to take a look at the big boys. Yo, shout out to Darren, says FOMO in at the top. That's the vibe, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Mine was like number 79. Shout out to F-Bomb. Let's get it. Do you have a tutorial for risk management and taking profits? Bing bong. Shout out to Ryan Smith. You may have just given me a video to shoot this week. I do have a video on risk management. It's probably pretty old and probably due for an update. What I'm going to probably do here, guys, soon, I haven't made a ton of tutorials just because we have the beginner series, which are all updated tutorials. I'm going to start updating the much older tutorials. It's a lot of beginner stuff, and I know a lot of the Mafia has kind of grown with the channel and kind of understands more advanced stuff, but I think I'm going to start, if you guys would like that, drop some candles in the chat or fire in the chat if you guys want me to go back and redo my simple beginner tutorials and kind of just run through those and give updated versions of them for the new Mafia that is coming in and trying to learn from scratch. But risk management will be at the top of that list because I think that's really the most important thing, right? You can have the best signals, the best strategy, and if you're not managing your risk, you're very likely going to lose money over time. All right, let's see. Let me just check. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Said, if only we had a cheerleader to pump the likes with pom-poms and a tutu. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Maybe we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to throw it on the stream deck. Instead of the thumbs up, we'll just have a cheerleader. I don't know, twerking or something. Let's see. Mark Dutch says, paper bags for the win. Also, great for Frankie's hyperventilating is terrible. Shout out to Mark Dutch. I'm not hyperventilating. Shout out to Mark Dutch. The trend is your friend. Or no, the trend is your enemy and loves to smack you in the face when you least expect it. Shout out to CandleMafia's John Cena. That is right. The trend is your friend until the absolute very end. Okay, a lot of fire and candles in the chat. I just scrolled down. All right, at Tony D, let's start. Let's make a list of let's go all the way back. And I'm talking divergence tutorials, RSI tutorials, indicator reviews, and just super beginner stuff. I think it'll help people. All right, I guess we'll do it. Majority rules. Let's get it. And yeah, risk management will be on that list. Paper bags are a great solution to a bad blind date. Shout out to Kay Diggity. Let's go. Hey, Kay. Phoebe says hi. All right, let's see. Do you think alts take a huge hit if Bitcoin dominance hits 74%? Let's take a quick look at BTC dominance. That's not dominance. Bada boom. Let's take a look here, right? So, actually, I have to pull it over here. Okay, so here's the thing, right? This is our level, right? This is the level we've been looking at. And, there are some people out there. It never goes... there's always one person that's like, you can't do that on Bitcoin dominance. You can't pull a volume profile on Bitcoin dominance. I don't know. It seems to work great in this case, right? But just to give a quick little breakdown for anyone who is not up to date with my Bitcoin dominance thought process here, we got the first rejection here back in December where we had the altcoins rally. This was not alt season, in my opinion, right? Maybe like a mini alt season. Obviously, we saw, XRP. We saw a lot of things flying during that time. But we were testing key resistance, and this was also a value area low. What do we know about value areas, guys? We know that if you break above a value area low, you're probably going to flip that value area low to support, push into the POC as the next likely stop for price or dominance to go. I don't know if you could deny that, right? Right into the POC. You come back down, you flip the value area low to support, right back into the POC. And right now, dominance is pushing right back into that point of control. The goal here for altcoins would be to hopefully not break this 786. Just like the 786 on Bitcoin was the doorway to higher prices, where we are today, this 786, in my opinion, is the doorway to potentially 66.21%. If the question was if it goes to what, 75%? Is that what they said? If it hits 74%, very likely that is not going to be good for altcoins. I'm not even looking up that high. We have a lot of big targets here. We have the golden pocket here. That was our first rejection where we had a little mini alt season, right? And then once we got back into once we get above that golden pocket, you could potentially anticipate that 786. And just from a very, very simple standpoint here, just so I don't confuse anybody, when you look at this, right, that golden pocket retracement, let me just make sure I have the correct one. Just make sure it's pulled from the high. So pulled from here, right, all the way to the low. Right, your thought process here is if you want alt season, and we're just looking at this like a typical chart, you're hoping that you're going to reject and put in a lower high here, right? You're hoping, right? Hey, if you're going to come in, golden pocket 786, like somewhere in here, you're hoping that the lower high comes in and you get a bigger drop to the downside for a real alt season, not this little phony garbage, right? Not this fugazi fangul. You know what I'm saying? Can we curse in Italian on this? I don't know if we can. But this is the area we'd want to reject, right? And we don't know if you have to come up to the 786. It's either going to come in at the golden pocket, but because we already rejected the golden pocket, you anticipate, hey, next biggest and most important key level is that 786. If you break above that 786, I guess that's probably your road to 74%, right? I would say that's the line in the sand, and that 786 is sitting at about 66.19%. If you lose it first, right, not only would you be getting your potential lower high for a massive drop in Bitcoin dominance and a massive alt season, but you're also losing your volume profile or your value area low, right? That is a key level that you want to get out of, right? Once you lose that value area low and you get rejected out of the range, maybe the same thing happens as the last time we got rejected out of that range, right? Get the big massive drop to the downside. So that's really what I'm looking at. This level does sit between about 60% and 66.19%. You do not want to break above that 786, and if you do, you want it to be a fast wick and a quick push back below. You do not want to flip this to support. That is very bearish for altcoins, in my opinion, just looking at Bitcoin dominance. So that's kind of my thought process there. And the same thing we have been looking at, but locally we are pushing against the local golden pocket 786. So it's the same thing as the higher time frame golden pocket 786. Now I'm going to zoom into this, these little candles in here. You have a local golden pocket 786, and more for the more not tangible, the more not recent, like the local soon, right? You're going to want to put a lower high end here to continue down, right? That would be good for a local altcoin rally, right? Or an altcoin rally soon. If we break above that, then you come up to test the bigger 786, and then this is that very large level that you do not want to break, right? That's what I'm looking at here. Hopefully we could just stay below at least 64.72%, and maybe we'll see another drop and the altcoins can rally. If not, we flip it, 786, that's going to be very bearish. That's what I'm looking at. Value area low sits at about 60.95%. It's another key level of support. If the drop does continue here, and we do continue to put in a lower high and a lower low into the value area low, that's your next key level of support. Key area to look for a bounce. And another reason to look at this level is because if you lose it, it could be very good for altcoins. That's what I'll be looking at on altcoin dominance, Bitcoin dominance. Let's see. Shout out to Vegas Claw said, good evening to the rascals and the five ladies. Shout out to Vegas Claw. We appreciate the female CandleMafia members. They are elite Mafia members. Let's go. Shout out to Jay Violet. I just see you in there right now. All right, let's see. A spicy meatballer. Shout out to Curtis Reese. Bada boom, bada bing. V-Slim in the chat. What is going on, V-Slim? Welcome in. We got big huggies in the chat. We got everybody in here today. Bitcoin moves a little bit, and we get everybody in the chat. I love it. Just taking a quick little check-in on Bitcoin. Continue to kind of cool off a bit. Okay. All right. So real quick, guys, I do want to take a look at Ethereum as we, again, Ethereum, I'm not going to lie. I mean, we look at this, just still kind of hovering around here. We tapped that POC on Sunday, right? This is the key level of support on Ethereum is going to be 23.18. As long as we're able to hold above that level, remember we do have the anchored VWAP pulled from the not all-time high, but the high of the most recent significant high at about 4,100 bucks almost. This is a key level to hold above. If we lose it, POC is your next key level, 2320. Lose that. We still have this golden pocket, value area low, sitting just below. Do we have any daily MPOCs down there? That's a tap daily MPOC. Let me just double check this real quick. Bada boom. Man, yeah, we have it on the 786. We have it on the 786. Good Lord, would I love that on the I would have loved that on the golden pocket. So yeah, I'll just give you like the local or the next major key levels to look at on Ethereum. Obviously, the value area low is going to be key. Let me get these MPOCs off the chart. This is tapped. This is tapped. I just keep these on the chart just to see like what we're rejecting here. But the more significant level that we're rejecting here is the monthly MPOC. So I will keep this. Get rid of the daily. Let me just update some of these. Make sure we don't have any other. All right, so we'll grab this one right hither. Boom. And then we got one right up here. Okay. And then this is the current, so we can't mark that out just yet. Okay, so yeah, I would say like the biggest key levels of support here. If we come down, lose the anchored VWAP here, POC 2320, lose that. Value area low, golden pocket. That's where you're hoping for a retest of the value area low for another move to the upside. If you lose that, you're definitely going to be looking towards the 786 because once you lose the golden pocket, the next likely place for price to go is going to be the 786, which is confluent with the daily naked point of control, which does make me like that level a little bit better. However, it's like I like it because of the confluence. I don't like it because we'd be leaving the value area, which I really would prefer to just stay inside this range. If you break out of this range, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get a bigger move down, but it's just like we're back up in here. Ethereum has been crushed, right? And I would just deal with that if it happens, right? I would just much prefer to stay inside this volume profile. If we come down to the value area low, that's fine. If we lose it, sure, you could deviate below the low. This is typically where you want to look for long positions. But at that point, it's like I would just really prefer to stay up in here. But other than that, like big Ethereum just kind of chilling here. I would say as long as you don't lose this POC, we could be looking up to our next key level, again, sitting up towards almost $3,000 near our macro golden pocket. So that's what I'll be looking at on Ethereum. Pretty much remains the same as my thoughts yesterday, but update the people who missed the stream yesterday. Daily VWAP starting to come to the upside here. Let's hide the daily MPOCs. Pull up some local levels here as well. Pull this range real quick. Yeah, I mean, you could potentially pull this local range for some, day trade levels, right? Just trading your value area as you typically would. Deviate above the high into key support or resistance. Back into the range. Can't get back out. Back to the PLC. Back to the high. Back to the PLC. Lose the PLC. Back to the low. Deviation. Back in. Back to the PLC. Front run the high. And now we're just sitting here, right? So maybe you could look at this for some more local levels, but for the most part, hoping to hold above at least this POC. If not, we'll check in on it and we'll start to look at the value area low golden pocket. But, if we're looking for overall higher lows and higher highs, that golden pocket, even if we get a test of this, right, could, support the overall uptrend, right? Even the 786 could still kind of support that overall uptrend. We just don't know how deep that pullback's going to be if we do get it. If we get the daily green dot first, who knows? Let's check that. 90-minute money flow. Starting to come up here as well. I mean, if we get the move up first, your next major target, in my opinion, guys, there's really nothing above until the golden pocket daily naked point of control at about 3K. That's what I'm looking at, right? So, yeah, and this is a tapped level, right? So, it is there, but it's not as strong as when it's naked, right? You can see how strong it is when you have a naked monthly point of control, right? Bing, bong. Pretty crazy. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Let's see. Curtis reset. Screw whoever missed yesterday's stream. Shout out to Curtis. Let's see. ETH looks like an inverted head and shoulders. I see what you're looking at, just like kind of locally here. Bada boom, bada bing. A little something like that. I think that's probably what you're looking at. Sure, I can't really argue with that. Let's see. Shout out to Bitfrog said, I still remember when we were struggling to get a 25K Bitcoin in 2023 during the summer. Crazy times, Holmes. Yeah, shout out to Bitfrog. It really is crazy. I mean, even if going more recent, right? Like the struggle of like 74K and, how scary that can actually feel and how fast things can change. I mean, we are in crypto here, guys. It goes from very bearish to very bullish in the snap of a finger. It's a weird thing to say. Anyway, let's see. Ondo. Wow, we got a lot of good alt requests today. So real quick, I'm going to do the quick. I mean, we check Solana and Ethereum every single day, XRP every single day. So I'm just going to go through these quickly. Golden Pocket, we looked at this yesterday, right? We came down to the Golden Pocket. Or no, when did this happen? Yeah, this happened yesterday. We pulled down to the Golden Pocket. I believe we had an MPOC there as well. Got the bounce there. I mean, we're just kind of in between two value areas here, right? If we're looking for higher lows and potential higher highs to break structure to the upside, that Golden Pocket is going to be the place to look, right? If you lose the Golden Pocket, the next place to look for is going to be that 786, which is confluent with the previous value area high and the POC of this range. So hopefully we can just hold, right? As if we can stay above this value area high. This is the biggest key level right now. The two biggest key levels here for Solana, value area high 166.83, value area low at 183.91. This is potentially your doorway to lower prices, not necessarily a dump to zero, but like maybe the doorway to a deeper retracement into the 786 or the POC. These are like still the three key levels that we looked at yesterday. Golden Pocket we've already bounced off of. Underneath that, 153.44 to 150.92. POC value area high 786. And then just underneath that, we have the value area low and the POC of the macro range sitting in the 140s, right? Between 143 and 145. So are we going to hold the aggressive trend? Or is Bitcoin going to kind of steal the show as these cool off? We'll have to see. But I will say value area high is the doorway to the deeper retracement potentially. We get stuck in here. Lose the Golden Pocket. 786 is the next place to look. Pull down to the POC. If you lose the 786 POC value area high, the next place to look is the value area low and macro POC. And for anyone new who's like, he just said POC 3 times, what the heck is he talking about? Local point of control of this local range is sitting at 150, 151.14, right? And then the POC of the macro range, right, which is a much stronger level in my opinion, that is the POC of this larger range, right, sitting at 142.87. So if we did get the bigger, I don't know if I would really see a pullback here at this point. I would much rather hold the Golden Pocket or the 786. But that POC is there, right? Sometimes what we see, especially on altcoins sometimes, I always bring up Dogecoin when we talk about this. Sometimes what you see on the altcoins with the big breakouts of the value areas, right? Like you get the big break and then you come back down, retest the POC for the next massive move up. A little bit, this is more of like a significant drop, right? Like this was a 65% dump. That's not going to be the case on Solana. This would only be a 14% dump, but it's the same kind of theory, right? You break out and then you go retest that POC one more time. Not guaranteed, but it is a potential scenario. So these are still the three biggest key levels I'll be looking at on Solana. And then if and when we do put in a higher low, maybe it even comes in here, break above that value area low, this is your doorway to higher prices. And once we get above this level, guys, the next expected target for Solana, once you break above 183.91, is going to be the POC at around 217. All right, same thing that we looked at here. We knew once we broke above this value area low, the next target would be the POC at 143. We got it, right? Once we break above this value area low, next target becomes the POC at 219. And it's the same thing that we look at every time, right? Flip this back to support, look into the POC. Anytime you look at a volume profile, that's how it goes, right? It's the magical nature of the volume profiles. It's pretty insane. But let's see. Yeah, shout out to Hung says Bitcoin moves, alts don't move. Yeah, that might be the thing, right? Like maybe Bitcoin steals the show here as the altcoins kind of range around, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see a rising tides lifts all ships situation. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Summer Sunrise said, I admit, I don't know what a golden pocket is, but it sounds good. Shout out to Summer Sunrise. Let's go, baby. But yeah, real quick, I don't know if you're serious or not, but if you don't know what a golden pocket is, it is a key level within your Fibonacci retracements, and we use that to find areas within a trend, right? So I'll just drop a little bit of sauce for the Mafia here, if you don't know, right? When price is trending, right? The volume profiles are great when price is going sideways, right? Because we high probability shorts at the highs, high probability longs at the lows, right? But what about when you're trending? Well, when you're trending, right, where are we going to be looking for the higher low for the continuation up? Or in a downtrend, where are we going to be looking for the lower high and the lower low, right? Well, that's where the Fibonacci retracements come into effect, where you would pull from your low to your high, right? And then where that golden pocket sits and the 786, I look at this as a zone, right? This is typically the highest probability area. I'm just going to tweak this a little bit so it's a little more accurate. This is the highest probability area if you are in a strong trend. You know the trend is bullish, and you're going to be favoring longs. Well, where are you going to be looking for those long positions? You're going to be looking on the golden pocket, 786 retracement. If you're going to put in a higher low and then break structure to the upside once again to continue your overall trend, you're going to be looking at the golden pocket 786. So there you go. And if you don't know how to get that on your chart, you can check out the tutorials in the beginner series. I show you exactly how to do it. All right, let's see. Shout out to Greg said I just threw some golden pockets into the microwave. Let's go. Shout out to the golden pocket. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on here. I want to take a look at I do want to take a look at XRP real quick. And, yeah, I mean, XRP just still bing-bonging around here, very similar to Ethereum and Solana, right? Just kind of in the same area that we were looking at yesterday, right? Just kind of banging on that golden pocket. Just hitting that gold. We just keep we keep coming down to the golden pocket is what I'll say. But if we lose this golden pocket, guys, the key level remains the same on XRP. Honestly, like, not much has happened here. We just kind of wiggled sideways. If we lose that golden pocket, going to be looking at the 786 daily naked point of control at 221. And that is, again, right, like I just said, if we're going to anticipate this trend to continue up, forget about the volume profile for now, right? If I just hide that golden pot, hide the volume profile. If we're going to be looking for the continuation of this trend, this would be, I mean, even pulled to the low here, right? Even pulled to the low here fully. You know, golden pocket is the first opportunity that you have to potentially put in a higher low and a higher high, right? You have your low, your high, higher low, higher high for a break of structure to the upside, continuation of the uptrend. And then that last kind of opportunity, in my opinion, would be on the 786, right? Put in another higher low. You do have confluence on that daily naked point of control / 786 retracement between sitting between, 221 and 220, right? Still the same key levels. Once you lose that, I'm pretty much just looking at the volume profile, value area low sitting at about 204. But we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. So, yeah, actually, another thing you can look at, right, if you're kind of just trending, right, and you are a fan of the volume profiles as much as I am, shout out to Lux Algo just going absolute Super Saiyan on these indicators. They now have a volume profile regression channel, which allows you to pull volume profiles on trending price action, right? Like this little wonky kind of trending range, you kind of get a trend-based volume profile with your value area, right? You have your value area right here, and then you have your value area high right there, and then you, I believe your value area low is just sitting at the bottom right here, right? Deviate above the value area high, back into the range, back to the POC. Didn't make it all the way back to the low, right? Deviate above the high, back in, back to the POC. Deviate above the high, back in, back to the POC, back to the low. I'm going to leave that there. I might make a video about this. This is, sometimes I feel like they like, so I see stuff like this and I'm like, Lux, did you do this for me? It's like, I don't know. I've never seen this before. And the fact that they are making trend-based, I've never heard of that before. I've never seen that. As much as I look at volume profiles, I've never seen a trend-based volume profile. I don't even know how they calculate that. But they're doing some wizardry over there. Lux Algo, let me tell you. But yeah. Let's see. All Set says context. Absolutely. Shout out to All Set. Yo, shout out to Jedi Skirk says, hey, you ruined golden pockets for me now. My mind wanders every time you say it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't escape that. And it just, oh, man. Oh, God. Showers of golden pockets. Good Lord. We might have to end the stream, guys. We just derailed this one. All right, let's continue on. We got Crypto Billy and D Petty Crypto in the chat. What is going on, D Petty? Welcome in, bro. Good to see you. Golden pocket, it's a banger. Yo. All right, I can't look at chat for another 10 minutes, guys. I can't. He's out of control. Oh, man. All right, so that's what we're looking at on XRP. Taking a look at Market Cipher on XRP real quick, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, as you guys know, my context is still kind of, for the most part, right? Daily money flow crossing back into the red, but, I'll say this, right? I don't think that, and I could be wrong, right? I like to stay as agnostic and as egoless as possible when looking at the charts, especially on the live stream. I don't really see, I mean, I feel good still, right? Like, I don't see a situation where we're just going to just get a massive breakdown on all the altcoins, right? Unless we get some kind of crazy black swan event, which I don't think is, it's not really anything I can, I mean, maybe, but you can't predict those things. As of right now, I will say, taking a look at the monthly, VWAP roll into the upside, right? It might take some time. There might be some pullbacks on the way. We don't know exactly how this structure is going to build out, right? Something we can watch, right, or something that I would anticipate is, well, hey, if we want to get a breakout of this range, right, and this goes for like any altcoin, right, if we're just kind of bing-bonging around here and you want this range to break out and go to higher prices, we need the money flow to come in here, right? We need that money flow to swoop in underneath us and carry us away like a magic carpet. And 2-day money flow, honestly, is kind of coming out here, right? I wouldn't really see that as like super, super mega bearish just because of the context. Obviously, no indicator is going to be able to just give you like instant signals that are going to play out every single time. It takes, especially with the high time frame money flow, it takes a long time for these to flip around. Daily money flow kind of coming back into the red, VWAP below the zero line. I would still generally be pretty bullish here, right? Like 3-day red dot printing, maybe you get another pullback to the value area low, but like we don't know exactly how this is going to work out, right? But eventually, even if we bing bong around in here, I think we're just kind of working out the rest of this until we fly to the upside. If we start breaking key support, I'll be the first person to let you know, be like, hey guys, context has changed. We're looking down to lower prices, but right now, as long as you remain in this range, even if we go back down to the value area low, you get bullish confirmations down there. You might just want to go for one more rotation. I don't really see any super, super scary signs here, to be quite honest with you. And then that monthly VWAP, right? Like, once we get that monthly green dot, I mean, you just look at these monthly green dots, guys. They don't come very often. They come more often on the altcoins because they're more volatile. But monthly green dot, soon after, follows a 600 and change percent rip, right? These are just kind of like sideways. But if you get like any big move to the upside was signaled by a monthly green dot, right? So yeah, that's kind of, that would be like the very, very big, very simple signal to be watching for the next big move to the upside. And hopefully we could do it while maintaining in this range and we don't have to get a bigger breakdown. Shout out to Crypto Billy says, testing. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for that, bro. Thank you for the super chat. What is the testing thing? Is that, is it have something to do with the ranks? Are you Billy is trying to get a high rank. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I think that's what he's doing. I thought about that earlier today. Actually, later last night. I was like, maybe that's what he's doing. He's trying to see if it affects his rank. I wonder if it does. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to Mads and Lizzie says, nom, 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 600%. Yes, thank you. All right, let's see. All right, let's see here. I still don't know if the shout out to Muhammad says I still don't know if the market will continue up. There will be a test downside. Yeah, I mean, listen, nothing is up in in a straight line forever. I mean, until it is, right? Like, then it's obviously not forever, but when it starts going, it starts going. But again, yeah, like turbulence could come in, but I would think for the longer term move, I'd be watching this monthly green dot. I think that next monthly green dot, if we can get it, is going to be the big thing to look at. Just checking on Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, just still kind of bing-bonging around. Don't want to lose that value area high. All right, so let's start looking at some other altcoins. If you guys want to see your favorite altcoin, go ahead and drop them in the chat right now. And Rob, the Crypto Snob, will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. Rob, let's do like 3 requests, and then I'll do some random requests that I find in the chat. Yeah, shout out to Jedi Skirk. He said Billy's trying to get a higher ranking in the crowns. That might work. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Ondo. Okay, I'll start with Ondo. So actually, I didn't see Rob. Is Rob here today? Did I see him? I don't know if Rob is here today. But I will take a look at Ondo. Link. Okay, bada boom. Okay, let's take a look at Ondo real quick. I should come onto the altcoin chart. Is this our current chart for Ondo? Turn off the daily MPOCs, the weeklies, the dailies. Okay, so yeah, this is... Yeah, I mean, these levels kind of still remain the same as well, right? Key level on Ondo to the downside. This blue box sitting here between 86 and 81 cents. Daily, golden pocket, POC of the range, and another daily. Hopefully, right, in the most bullish scenario, I mean, I guess technically the most bullish scenario would be to come up from here, all right? But if we do get another correction, you know, hopefully you could hold this level. If you lose that, I'll be looking down to the 786, which I assume is also in, there you go, the weekly. So yeah, these would be like the two big levels I'd be looking at if we're going to continue that aggressive trend. Well, actually, no, aggressive trend, that would be honestly, yeah, I don't really know if I would want that, to be quite honest. At this point, I would like to hold above the POC, right? Because at this point, you've gotten into the value area low, back above the POC. As long as we hold above this POC, the next target to the upside, in my opinion, right, and get rid of this daily that we rejected, $1.19 up to about $1.23, right? If we lose the POC, right, like even if we come back down and test it, we're just hoping that you can hold on top of it. But if you lose it, 786 weekly is your like next place to look to bounce. But you know, when you are bouncing from the bottom of the volume profile, like if we had rejected the high here and then we were on our way down, losing the POC would be much more bearish in my opinion, expecting the full fill of that range. But because we have not hit the value area high yet, we are approaching from the low, right? Flip that POC, stay above the POC. I would look for the continuation up. And even if you slip into that 786, you know, these POCs act as magnets for price. These are the area where the most volume was transacted. And oftentimes that can give you turbulence, right? You can get below it, get back above it, get back below it, back above it, right? And you would hope to hold this second zone here sitting between 76 and 72 cents. And then at that point, if you lose this zone, you're just looking down to the value area low anyway. So hopefully we can just hold above this POC and continue this, move through into the value area high. And those are the key levels I'll be looking at down below. Take a look at the 2-day. Money flow. Still kind of just wiggling around here. VWAP below the zero line. Again, this is okay to see money flow come back out as long as we can continue the trend to the upside. That's what I would look for. Maybe that next green dot that we print on the 2-day can drag that money flow up with it. If that 2-day money flow crosses over into the green, well, we just did this on Bitcoin, but we could do it here on Ondo as well. 2-day money flow crossover could indicate a massive move to the upside. We don't have any information back here, but I would assume, just kind of eyeballing this, right? Probably that money flow crossover was giving us that big move to the upside, right? Again, we can't look at that because there's no information back there, but obviously, more often than not, those 2-day money flow crossovers do give us a big move up, and we spent a decent amount of time in the red here, right? Like, same thing here. Money flow comes out, you cross over into the red, you spend a good amount of time in the red on the money flow here, right? 122 days. Right here, we're at 72 days, right? Maybe you go a little more, but you don't have to. But this is a significant amount of time in the red. I wouldn't say, I would say like the fake out scenario here on money flow would not be a fake out into the green and back into the red. I would say if we come into the green and we see it come back into the red, that would more likely be the fake out into the red for a bigger green wave. I think it could be about time to get a crossover into the green here, right? We spend a good amount of time. Market has cleansed itself, racking everybody to the downside, just putting everyone through a ton of pain. See that 2-day money flow crossover. It's very similar to this, right? You get a lot of pain, spend some time in the red, cross it back over into the green, send it up. So that's what I'd be looking at. Just simple money flow. Let's see. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin, said, show me the upside, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Base Bailey. Darren does things. You can't fart on people in the chat. Shout out to Darren does things, bro. The peach with the puff of air is crazy work, bro. That is absolute crazy work. Let's see. Shout out to TDK. Said, can you share your chart in the premium? Yes. I'll tell you what, TDK. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to do this. This is not fully updated, but I'm going to go ahead, and I will just share this real quick. I'm going to reshare this after the stream, but I'm going to share this really quickly in the Discord just so I don't forget. So at least you have all the updated levels. But I will update this. The one that you have actually should be pretty updated. Yeah, there's not really much updated on that, to be quite honest with you. But I'll just share it. Sure, there's a couple of things there. Save it, sharing, copy link. And then we just pull up the Discord real quick. Bada boom. Chart links. Boom. All right. There we go. Shout out to TDK. Find me another YouTuber that will give you a chart in real time. Shout out to the premium Discord. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to Wayne C. Said, dope. Thanks, Frankie. No problem. No problem. Let's see. Shout out to D Petty Crypto. Oh, thank you for the alt list. Shout out to D Petty. Thank you for that, bro. I'm going to replace the pinned message. Pump the likes up. Who said it? Who said it? Crimson. Shout out to Crimson. Said, pump the likes up, baby. Let's go for 1,000 likes. Do it for Crimson. If you're not going to do it for me or the CandleMafia, just do it for Crimson. So we got Ondo, Render, Brett. Let's check out Render real quick. Shout out to D Petty. I hope you're doing good, bro. I hope you're doing good. Good to see you in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Render. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. I can update these levels because we have moved quite a bit. So I'll get rid of this local range. Well, I'll keep this local range just for now. Actually, no, I'll take this off, right? Well, overall, for Render, massive, massive macro range here, guys. Massive macro range. Value area low, doorway to higher prices, sitting at 426. Break above that value area low, flip it to support. As long as we stay in here, I would be looking for the next target to the upside to be 654 at the golden pocket. POC 786 sitting about 760. And that's not even your full golden pocket. That's just kind of like local golden pocket in confluence with the POC. Like this would still definitely be the next target to the upside in my own personal opinion. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. Said, sorry, guys. I was AFK. My cousin just got here. Tony! Are you talking about Cousin Jimmy? Come on, bro. What the heck, dude? Shout out to Cousin Jimmy. Screw Cousin Jimmy. Tell him get out of here. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Tony D, though. Okay, so continuing on here. Oh, come on, malware. Let's get out of here. All right, so that's the next target to the upside for Render. 2 days, same thing, right? Like, again, like there might be ebbs and flows here, right? You might deviate again, right? You might, and I'm going to show you some key levels below, but say, you know, money flow continuing to the upside. I think that these 2 day money flow crossovers could be a nice move. We've spent a lot of time in the red here. 126 days. Actually, that wasn't accurate. It's actually 120 days. It's plenty of time to spend in the red. Now, it doesn't guarantee that you have to come up, right? But typically, right, like the only thing I would be trying to avoid here is like a fake out into the green, right? And those fake outs into the green oftentimes happen like after you've spent a lot of time in the green. Like you could see here, you had a massive move up, and then you kind of climbed to the upside over time. You spent a ton of time in the green, right? 152 days. And then money flow comes into the red, and then we fake out into the green. Why was this fake out into the green likely? Well, we had just spent a ton of time in the green, right? Price needs time to cool off, right? And then you spend a ton of time in the red, and you could even see here, you push into the green, and then you fake out into the red for another massive green wave. We're in a it's very similar situation here, right? We've spent a ton of time in the red. If we can get that crossover into the green, if we come back into the red, I would think that's a fake out into the red. We've already spent a ton of time down here. It's not a guarantee, but more often than not, you will see that happen, right? We also have nice bullish divergences at the lows, which I like. When you see a bullish divergence with money flow coming up, this indicates a pretty good low, right? In my opinion. Regardless of the time frame you're looking at, right? If you're trading the 15-minute, the 4-hour, like if I were looking for a long position, say even on the 15-minute, and let's say the 15-minute bull div is one of the things that I would be looking at. Let me see if I could find an example here. Trying to find a 15-minute bull div. I didn't think it would be that hard. Okay, so like right here, right? Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your higher lows on your momentum waves, right? Your money flow is coming up. Sure, you faked out. Well, I mean, you didn't even fake out, right? You just kind of low, higher low, crossover into the green, continuation to the upside, right? So when you see these bull divs with money flow coming up, It's oftentimes a good sign for a strong low. Again, 15-minute strong low is one thing, compared to like a daily low. Or a high, right? Like when you see a bearish divergence with money flow coming out, like that's what you want to see. You want to see the bull divs and money flow coming in the right direction. And we have that on high time frames, right? Last time we had a 2-day bull div, where was the last time we had a 2-day bull div? Wasn't here. Wasn't there. This is not the best example because money flow was not coming up at the time. But you can see, you put in the bull div. I mean, you don't have to, you're very likely not going to be able to see it at the actual low. But you can look back and say, well, hey, we had bull divs. We're flipping the POC. Like, am I going to be bullish or bearish here? Well, we have bull divs at the low into a key level. Money flow starting to come up. Could be that this was a strong low, right? And then you see the bigger continuation up. Same thing here, right? You have nice bull divs here. Money flow starting to creep up. If we can get that 2-day money flow crossover, could be the start of the bigger move to the upside to potentially fill the whole range. Next target to the upside would be sitting right here, though. 652 at the golden pocket into the 786 POC confluence at 771. That's what I would look for. And then as long as you hold this value area low, I think we're not too bad, right? Let me pull up some MPOCs real quick. Boom. Weekly MPOC, weekly MPOC. You do have a weekly right there as well. So honorable mention here, 598. You do have your weekly naked point of control. Let's check the dailies real quick. Let me just drop these in a folder. Boom. Daily MPOCs. Got one here. You got one right here. One up here. One right here. Drop these in a folder. Daily MPOC. If you're not using folders on your charts, I don't know what you're doing. There's Rob. Let's go. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Said, to be honest, I don't know why the markets aren't tanking. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I might have called Satoshi last night, guys. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Bada boom. Talking about Black Swan events and all, an all-out alien invasion would be the blackest of swans, now wouldn't it? Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Yes. I don't know if I would buy an alien invasion. Alien invasion. I'd be like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I would. I don't know. I don't know if anybody. Shout out to Julio, says, does Frankie use the moon phase indicator? I don't. I've seen it. I don't personally use it though. Jonathan says somebody calls Satoshi ASAP. Yeah. Listen, if we got a massive alien invasion. Yeah, it probably, could be a black swan, but I would imagine we look back in hindsight and be like, remember when they tricked us into a fake alien invasion? I'd rather shorten an alien, or maybe crypto would be the currency of the extraterrestrials. It would just be like dubstep and cryptocurrency. That would just be life if we got invaded by aliens. Crazy. Shout out to K Diggity and Jay Violet dropping the hearts. Let's go. I'm fourth. Shout out to Jay Violet. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, algos on Bitcoin don't want it to drop. Potentially. They're coming for your BTC. Yeah. Give me your Bitcoin. That's how aliens would talk. Okay, let's continue on. Darren does things with the number one in the rankings here. Let's go. Shout out to Darren does things. Interesting. It doesn't say your actual username. Your username is different here, Darren. That is very strange. BTC starting to retest. Yeah, she was pulling back. Now she's back up. She's bipolar right now, guys. Honestly, like the price action today was kind of wild, right? Like the volatility was nice. Like I said, I was just scalping all day. The volatility has been pretty crazy. Just like wicks to the downside, just whipsaw action here. Do you have the 1 hour bear div? Again, I don't want anyone just thinking like, oh my God, bear div short. Just because, could give you a pullback, but, like, I'm not necessarily looking at it as, like, the most bearish thing in the world, to be quite honest. Let's pull back up our actual current chart here. But, hey, I mean, we find those levels on the chart. This is the best chance, a better chance than any, right? Yeah, we came back. We tested that 786. Like, that 786 is the level that you want to stay above and the value area high. And these are kind of confluent now at this point, right? Like, if you could stay above this level, could be moving into that next target. Green dot printing, that's your 24 minutes. Check the 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour VWAP kind of. Yeah. It's difficult, right? Because in times like this, sometimes the indicators won't be able to give you much insight, right? Like, sometimes the indicator will be like, oh, money flow's coming out on the 4-hour, right? Now, although that is right in predicting trend more often than not, or the 1-hour in this case, right? Like, although that is, 1-hour money flow coming out, especially if you have that 16-hour bearish divergence looking to print, right? Lower highs, higher highs, above the value area high, right? More often than not, that will give you a pretty good signal that a correction is to come. But if we're going to squeeze up here, you have to understand that the indicators are probably going to get stepped on, right? You're just like, you'll just yeet off into another big wave. So, yeah, and I do think we are potentially in a situation where you might start to see things fake out. We'll have to see. But very nice, right? We just pulled back here. We pulled a lower time frame, right? You get the pullback right into the 786. That is the key level that we had to break above in order to see higher prices. And now we've come back down, retested as support. Hopefully we can continue up. Shout out to Julio, said aliens or an advanced ancient antediluvian civilization returned to the surface. Shout out to Julio. I don't know. Both of those sound pretty crazy, to be honest. That'd be crazy, though. I would be so happy to be alive in the generation that got to see aliens. BTC stands for Bitcoin. In Spanish, shout out to Vegas Claw. I don't know what that says. But shout out to Vegas Claw. BTC, stands for Buttcoin. Shout out to Vegas Claw. Buy the dip, baby. Shout out to Julio. Did aliens invent Bitcoin? Aliens are Satoshi, guys. Insane. Hashtag big words. Shout out to T Petty. That is literally big words. Antediluvium. Is that I don't even know if I'm probably not even saying that right. Listen, I'm a trader, not Shakespeare. But anyway, let's continue on here. All right, let's take a look at, let's jump back over to the altcoins. We took a look at Ondo. Let's take a look at Brett. I don't think this is our current chart. Whoops. Okay, yeah, this is our current chart. All right, so where the heck are these fibs pulled from? From the higher low. I'd probably just pull this down to the low. What else does it say? A 786. Yeah, I guess we can keep this zone. 786 golden pocket. It is pulled from the higher low, though. It's from the start of the impulse to the high. This is your first opportunity to come in and put in a higher low before breaking back out. If you lose this, I mean, these levels all remain the same. I'll do some local market cipher analysis, but 0.059 to 0.066. Those are the next. That's this zone, right? Like if you lose this, I'm looking down here to the bigger 786, which is pulled from the actual low, to the value area high of the previous range. I don't even really know. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Just looking at this, right? You go from the low POC back to the high. You flip that value area high to support. The trend is to the upside here. Market structure is bullish. Higher highs and higher lows. If we want to keep that trend going, we want to bounce off this box or this box to continue the uptrend. Preferably this box, right? And then on the way to the upside, we look to flip that value area low, push into the POC, push into the value area high. That's your doorway to higher prices locally at the value area low of the upper range. The value area low. Bada boom. There we go. So there we go. So, yeah, I mean, we're attempting to hold on top of this golden pocket. We don't really have any bullish divergences or anything like that. Let's check the daily. Yeah, daily VWAP getting rejected at the 0 line. We did get a daily bearish divergence here into that POC. Not much to take away from this, to be honest. 2-day look. I mean, I would say the 2-day is the big thing to look for. If you're not concerned about every little up and down, trying to scout the market, I would say 2-day money flow is probably the thing to look for the next big move up. All right, once that money flow crosses into the green, that's probably where you're going to see the much bigger continuation to the upside. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, nothing really to take away from Market Cipher. I have 4-hour money flow coming into the red. Yeah, nothing really. 16-hour red dot, no. 3-day red dot confirmed. 4-day red dot printing. 5-day. Yeah, I would say, like, if we are going to get a bigger correction, again, that 2-day money flow is the biggest thing to look at, but these high time frame red dots, like if you're going to get the bigger pullback, like these high time frame red dots are the thing to look for. And then for the move up would be, in my opinion, the 2-day green dot with the money flow crossover into the green. Daily money flow still healthy here, still curving up. VWAP getting rejected, but money flow still in the green. So yeah, I mean, just in general, right? Like you just hide your TA. This is an uptrend, right? So just generally looking at this clean chart, you're just viewing that as an uptrend, right? Your golden pocket retracement, right? That's that first zone that we're looking at. It's actually slightly different, but the full Fibonacci golden pocket 786 retracement, just to like kind of clean things up a little bit so you're not looking at a million different levels. This would be the level that you would want to hold on. From the low to the high. Continue the uptrend. Lose that 786. Idea of putting in the lower high there is obviously invalidated, or a higher low there is invalidated. Look for the bigger drop down. In which case, let's pull the, where's that anchored VWAP? Yeah, I mean, anchored VWAP coming up here as well. I don't hate this level here. 0.063, 0.055. That's the most ideal place to bounce, in my opinion, to keep the strong uptrend. Lose it, you're probably coming down to some lower Fibonacci levels, which I would start looking at even the full Fibonacci retracement at about 5 cents. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Other than that, this is your next key level. Not too much to take away from Market Cipher, to be honest, though. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Where's Billy at? Shout out to Vegas Call. I think Billy's here. Shout out to Eddie. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, I'm long from the bottom. Should I add to my position? Well, that depends. Long from the bottom is, depends on what you mean by long from the bottom. Long from the bottom, like this bottom? 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 Shout out to Eddie. I would really need more information. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a fan, right? Like, when I add to positions, I'll say this, right? Like, you don't want to necessarily, let's just say you come down, you get into some bullish divergences, you take the long, right? You're continuing up. When I add to a position, it's typically on a pullback, right? I wouldn't, I'm not, like, looking at that as, like, add to my position now, right? Like, I wouldn't add up here. I would add on pullbacks, if that makes sense. So hopefully that helps you out. I just don't know. It's hard for me to give, like, a direct answer just because, I mean, I can't tell you whether to add or not, but I would share with you what I would do if I were in your position. But I would need more information just because, I don't know. My answer would be different from here, or here. But just in general, I mean, like, even if you're long just from here, right? Like, let's just say you long the local bottom. This isn't necessarily really the area where I would add, right? I would wait for a pullback, then add, then go up, right? So hopefully that answers your question. You could probably piece together the context of your trade and kind of figure out what I mean. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's see. I like bigger bottoms. Shout out to Crypto Shame. I do like bigger bottoms myself. Shout out to D Petty Crypto said, gotta go. Love you, fam. Shout out to D Petty. Thank you for being here, bro. And we will see you maybe tomorrow. Shout out to D Petty Crypto. Thank you for stopping by, bro. Good to see you in here, by the way. We appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Can we check Doge? Yeah, we can check out Doge. Eddie says yes, 78K. Okay, so yeah, long from 78K, I would say. Yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really have much opportunity to add to your position, but yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you what to do. I mean, could you add here and we just blast off? Sure. I'm more of a fan of waiting for a pullback, and I'm more of a fan. Like anytime I typically add to a position, I get a pullback, and then that's where I'll add. I don't really add on the push up. Doesn't mean you can't do it. But that's just how I do it. So hopefully that helps you out. So here, kind of the only opportunities you have to add is like, oh, hey, maybe you add in this. You didn't really get much of a pullback. Maybe you add there. Maybe you add here, right? Maybe you add here. But yeah, I don't necessarily add on the push to the upside. Let's see. Shout out to Spiritual Trading. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You guys are wild, man. You guys are wild. Gaming's happy, just to let you know, guys. Yeah, of course. What do you think I thought he meant? Shout out to Vegas Claw. Hey, if I make you happy, Spiritual, if I make you happy, bro, that's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters. Anyway, let's see. Shout out to David Brumbelow in the chat. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you in here. He said, Pyth. Is it Pyth? Is it Pyth or Pith? I can't say Pith, guys. Had a big unlock. It's still dumping. Buy low, sell high, baby. Shout out to David Brumbelow. Let's go. Good check on that. Oh boy. Well, that's what an unlock can do. Good lord. Boom. Little dumpski. Yikes. Buy low, sell high. That's dang right. You buy here, you sell here. Let it dump, baby. Let it dump. Shout out to David Rumbelow. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Oh my God, bro. This might be the most unhinged chat has ever been. Mafia be going nuts right now. Shout out to Giga Longbottom. Said, can you take a look at XCN? Let's see. We took a look at Ondo. We took a look at Render. We took a look at... We got Brett and Morpho. Shout out to Giga Longbottom. Let's take a look at XCN real quick. We haven't looked at this in a while. Come back over here. Oh, no, we did take a look at Brett. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I look at so much stuff that sometimes I... Like, have you ever been here on one of the days where I'm like... just talking about Brett and saying Cardano, right? Like, I'd just be like, yeah, and if ADA comes down here, oh, this is Brett. I look at so many assets every single day between the Discord and the YouTube channel. It gets hard to keep track of. I'm not going to lie. But, so we did take a look at Brett. Let's take a look at XCN. I'm getting stuck in chat, man. You guys are killing me, bro. All right, let's take a look at XCN. On Bybit. All right, I don't think we've taken a look at this in quite some time based off this range. This was probably the last time we looked at this, potentially. Let's see. All right, let's get this stuff off the chart. Actually, daily MPOC, I believe, is still naked. I think it is. Those are still naked. This is not. This is a wonky chart. I'm not going to lie. Very weird looking chart. This is very, very, I don't like that. Very strange. Very hard to read. Try to give you, let's pull up the VPVR real quick. 4 hour. Let's take a look. Hide the horizontal levels. Get rid of this. All right, so let's take a look here. Clearly, there we go. Clearly, all the volume, big lack of volume, high volume node. Yeah, this is hard. This is a difficult chart. What I can do is let's just see this. Let's pull, oh man, this is an ugly chart. Not ugly as in bearish, just ugly as in like really hard to look at. Once in a while, we get one of these guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, let's check the monthly MPOCs. All right, so you have a monthly naked point of control up here. I'm going to mark out, like, the big boy levels, right? You kind of already rejected this. Then you got another monthly. Okay, so you got monthly MPOCs there. I'm just going to give you local levels on this because it is kind of hard to look at those higher time frames. I mean, even this, right? Like, this is a nice, clean range, but it is so wonky. So, yeah, I mean, this would be your local volume profile. Boom. Value area low, POC, value area high. I mean, I'll just mark out some, like, super key levels. I don't, like, this doesn't even. Okay, let me check that with monthly MPOCs. Nothing. No dailies. No daily MPOCs. Yeah, just no confluence on that fib. That is so weird. I'm going to do my best here. I would say, I mean, this is your local range. Your golden pocket retracement from the low to the high here sits. It's like this would be definitely a level you want to watch. There's really no confluence on it, to be quite honest. Yeah. And then, I mean, like, super honorable mention. I mean, it's, like, not that great, to be honest with you. This is a difficult chart to look at. But this would be your upper profile that I would look at. So, yeah, you're kind of just consolidating below your upper profile here. So if you could break above about 0.022, maybe you can get a move back into the POC like you did right back here. Let's pull up Market Cipher real quick. You know, again, yeah, 2-day doesn't look as good as a lot of other stuff. Daily money flow has yet to cross over into the green, which is very interesting. Last time we got that crossover into the green, it was getting ready for a massive rip to the upside. Yeah, so I would watch this daily money flow. This would be like the big signal for a big move up, similar to this. Daily money flow crossover into the green. It's headed in the right direction. You do have the daily red dot, so this would be like the local levels I would look at. So local range, value area low sitting at about 0.16, POC sitting at 0.02, value area high at 0.021. And then the value area, these are kind of like the same level. Value area low above, doorway to higher prices, 0.022. Flip that, right? 0.027 would be the next stop. And then potentially up into the threes if you can flip that POC to support. So if that red dot cools you off, I would probably be looking to just trade this local range. Hopefully you could find some longs at the lows before breaking up into that bigger range. If you get the daily money flow crossover into the green, you could see the easy continuation into that upper profile. Bigger cool off, golden pocket sitting at about 0.015. And then the 786 sitting at 0.011. So yeah, you could screenshot these levels if you want to grab them. Money flow seems to be headed in the right direction. Very difficult chart to read though. But that's my best. That's my best attempt in the 5 minutes that we have here on the live stream to look at this. So yeah, that's what I'll look at. Bada boom. All right, let's continue on. We could try to take a look at Doge. Let's take a quick look at Morpho. That is the last one on our list. So we did look at this recently, I believe. When was this? Oh, I guess we looked at this a while ago too. Okay, so weekly MPOC has been tapped. I mean, we filled the volume profile. We do have a daily green dot printing, 90-minute money flow, crossover into the green. This is nice. This is technically a market cipher B, 1/16th bullish setup. If that money flow continues into the green and that daily green dot confirms, you could potentially be looking for a continuation of the trend to the upside on the 90-minute, right? That 90-minute money flow crossover oftentimes does indicate the continuation to the upside. Break above that weekly MPOC, look for the continuation up. Also, Daily looks like it could be setting up for a bearish divergence, and I'm not saying that to say that I'm bearish, but I'm saying that because if you put a lower high in on a momentum wave like this, the way these momentum waves look like you could put a higher high in on price. All right, so we're using that bearish signal to call for another move to the upside. Next key level of resistance, you've already tapped this weekly MPOC. You've gotten a rejection. If we take a look at some other key levels, let's see what we have above us. Yeah, that weekly MPOC is tapped. Daily MPOC as well. I mean, you do have a daily MPOC here. I would probably be looking at this little consolidation range. Yeah, I would look at this upper range right here. Boom. So yeah, if you do continue up, if you do get the daily bearish divergence, this would be a potentially big level to watch. Value area low POC of the previous upper range. This does sit between 193 and 201, right? So if we are going to get that kind of daily bear div, that would make you anticipate a new high to come in. This would be the key level of resistance to look at for a cool off. And at the same time, yeah, that's kind of what I would look for. If you can get that daily green dot to confirm with that 90-minute money flow continuing into the green. Could get that bigger move up. That would be the next target. Next tangible target, 193. Start flipping that POC at about $2 to support. Could be on your way to 226. 2-day money flow attempting to come up, right? We do have some mixed signals here, right? 3-day red dot is about to print, right? This would be more bearish, right? This would be calling for more of a pullback. And you haven't really had a significant pullback here, but the daily green dot's printing first, right? So that might play out first, and then you get the bigger pullback before continuing up in a bigger way. So that's what I would look at locally on Morpho. There you go. No information on the weekly. 6-hour red dot looking to print. Yeah, I'll be honest. You have a yeah, like 4-hour green dot printing, 6-hour red dot printing, 8-hour red dot about to print. Like, you do have a pretty mixed signals. This is kind of choppy. But, you know, with the daily 90-minute 116 strategy, that's usually pretty golden, right? Shout out to Golden. So if you can get that to play out, I would look up here for if you can make it up there. That's kind of the next major key level I'd be looking at. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Bitcoin back at 107. She's pushing, baby. She's pushing. There we go. I mean, when you got strong uptrends like this, guys, you can't fade it, man. You can't fade it. Unless they're little scalps. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, 16-hour VWAP now getting support on the 0 line, right? So that kind of makes you look at that bearish divergence that would potentially form here. If we can keep pushing, you could invalidate the idea of that bearish divergence even coming in, which would support more upside. And that's 786. I'm not going to lie, guys. If we rip up to the daily MPOC and weekly MPOC at our next targets, don't forget it. That's 786. This is why you want to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications on, guys, because that is the exact key level that we needed to get above to flip it to higher prices, right? And literally fighting our context here that I typically look at to try and make that prediction. Doesn't guarantee it'll happen, but it's been playing out pretty good. So we'll see. We'll see. It's very difficult, right? It's like, in hindsight, if we do get a bigger dump, right? It's like, only in hindsight is it going to be like, oh, well, duh, right? It was a 12-hour bear div into the value area high. Like, that's typically the obvious thing. But we were able to kind of skirt just believing that because that's what we typically look at because we understand the context of the market, just pressing higher. Very nice. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Hey, well, look at that. We said Golden, and he showed up. Shout out to Golden. What is going on, bro? He says, I swear the BTC all-time high spiked at 109K previously, or was I in an alternate reality? I swear BTC all-time high spiked at 109K. Shout out to Golden. The previous all-time high, yes. No, you're living on Earth. Shout out to Golden. Yo, look at the golden emojis coming in for you, bro. Shout out to Golden, bro. Let's go. Everybody, give it up for Golden. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. We need an applause sound on the stream deck just for Golden when he comes in the chat. Start that Golden waterfall. Waterfall. We don't take showers here, guys. We only take baths. Golden bath? I don't know if that sounds great either. But yeah. Golden, 109,880 is where the all-time high came in, if that's what you're asking. So yeah, I would say, spiked into 109K and then came down for the all-time high. I think I would say you're right. Shout out to Golden. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Surfer said, Frankie, where would you take profit on your spot bags? We actually talked about this yesterday. I would take profit on my spot bags at $500,000. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't even joke like that because some people might take that seriously and like tune off. They're like, oh, he said 500K, I'm out. They might not hear me say I'm joking. But for me personally, right, we'll just come back over here to our, to our Fibonacci extensions, right? Like, for me personally, if we can make it, right, if we can, again, this was target number 1 for the bull run. We were looking at this target ever since the bottom came in. Once we saw that weekly bull dip, we started coming up. We pulled that fib from the high to the low. We find this golden pocket extension level. This wound up getting hit. Not only did it get hit, we came and hit the levels and got our first bull market cool-off of 30-something%. Very common. Not bear market territory. If we could break out here, the next major zone I'll be looking at is between 137 and 155K. This is the next place that I would be definitely taking some profit on my spot bags. Now, keep in mind, I bought down here, right? So I'm not, I'm not going to hold on to my bag, although we do have another extension level here at 209K. I am not going to hold on to my bag and sell nothing until we hit 209K, right? Because we might not get there, right? Hopefully we do, right? And once we get up here, we'll be able to identify how likely it is that we come up here. And it's going to be a long and tedious and scary situation. Same thing when we came up here. We say, hey, guys, this is the first major target. If we get up here, once we figure out what things look like, right, we can analyze the price and see if that next extension level is likely. Obviously, during this massive correction to the downside, I was never in the camp that this was a bear market for very clear reasons. Massive market structure is massively bullish. We never broke any significant highs, and a 30% pullback is completely normal for Bitcoin in a bull market, right? So what do? We say, hey, I don't think this is the bear market. I still think we could put in new all-time highs. Maybe we're about to do that now. Maybe I'm wrong, and we're going to front run the all-time high by $1 and go to zero, right? I doubt that, but could be, right? I've been wrong before. But that'd be the next major target, right? 137 to 155K. And because I hold from down here, I don't mind. You might be saying to yourself, well, what if we make it to 109K, right? But what if we make it to 209K? Aren't you going to be like pissed off that you missed a little bit of the gains? No, right? Because at that point, if you're up 590%, I don't care. Like, I'd rather lock in profits there than miss out on another 30%, right? Now, if I bought it 105K, right, then, 50% profit is not what a lot of people are looking for, right? So, again, it really has a lot to do with, like, where you got in, what your anticipation is, what your trading plan is, right? It's, but I am never going to just, like, hold my bag until 209K, right? Because there's no guarantee we get up there. Just remember, everyone thought 100K in 2021. We got nowhere near it, right? Once we start breaking into new all-time highs, I've already seen this in the news, right? These people predict 500K Bitcoin by the end of 2025, 250K Bitcoin by end of 2025. I think 250K is much more realistic than 500K. It's not that I don't think Bitcoin will ever go to 500K. I just don't know if it's going to happen this cycle, right? This happens every single cycle. The news starts coming out, and hilariously enough, guys, this is pretty crazy. Last night I kept getting YouTube ads for the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF and the ETH ETF. And I just kept thinking to myself, well, hey, this is interesting, right? We're testing key resistance. All of a sudden, they're shoving Grayscale ads down my face, crypto ads down my face. It's almost like they know something. It's like they know that this might be it's like they know, like, hey, we're about to send this thing up Might as well pour some money into ads. Weird, like maybe potentially leading signal for a bigger move to the upside. But anyway, let's continue on here. Yo, the golden emojis are wild, bro. Absolutely. Oh, yo, hang on a second. Shout out to Golden, baby. Let's go. Gifting the 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's get it. When did he do that? Did he do that after or before I saw his super chat? Shout out to Golden. Thank you for doing that. And there we go. 50 more Candle Mafia members locked in forever. Once you join the mob, you can't leave. Shout out to Golden. We appreciate you so much, bro. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Most of the hype is marketing from exchanges. Yeah, it's like, but it's interesting. It's not every time that we test resistance that I get those ads shoved down my face. If we break out here to new all-time highs, it's almost like they know. It's almost like they know. Let's see. Or a top signal. Yeah, CJ, that was actually one of the things last cycle that I realized. I kept getting, NFT game ads, all this stuff shoved down my throat, literally at the top. But maybe I just think they're front-running the all-time high just because it aligns with my bias. That could be true. Let's see. 110K coming tonight. Shout out to Eugene Sky. I wouldn't think that's unlikely. Okay, let's continue on here. Yo, shout out to Eddie. 200x long now. Do it. All right, let's continue on here. We'll take a look at definitely won't happen this cycle. Yeah, shout out to CJ. I am not in the camp that we will hit 500K. If we get up to 209K and it looks super mega bullish, then we'll make the decision to say, hey, maybe we get hit 500K. But even then, right, there's so many other numbers to hit before 500K. But the market gets super irrational. Wait until we're in a situation like this. It's up, and people just think it's never going to stop. That's why these moves down. I always try to be as transparent as possible, and it's like up front and like I try not to like just tell people it's going up for no reason, right? That's why I can't really say that, right? Because the chart's bearish. Well, I guess right now, like we were at a key level of resistance, we still look to the upside, but like there's no reason to do that. I'm not going to do it, right? The reason we looked for higher prices yesterday was because we knew if we flipped that golden pocket, the lower high was invalidated and we could look for higher prices, right? If that was not the case, I wouldn't be doing that, right? I would just said, hey, we're at the value area high, we're probably going to come down, but that's not what happened, right? So the yeah, I mean it's yeah, I don't know. Like once it comes up, once it starts going up like crazy, people just get overly irrational. They're just like, oh my God, it's never going to come up. It's never going to go down, never going to go down. And then the dump is super, super painful, right? Because they just think like, oh my God, it's never going to stop. Let me buy. They buy the top. And then it's just classic market psychology. It's like, it's crazy. But anyway, let's continue on here. Yo, shout out to Golden. Yo. Golden says in a quiet whisper, Vegas. Las Vegas is calling you, Frankie. Vegas. Shout out to Golden, bro. Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I'll hit you up after the stream. I'll hit you up on Discord, bro. Golden's wild, man. H-bar. All right, let's jump into H-bar real quick here, guys. We're running out of time. Taking a look at Habar. Bada boom, bada bing. Where's my H-bar chart? Why is it always H-bar that I can't find? Definitely not the OKX chart. Coinbase? Come on, don't make me do this from scratch. Don't make me do this from scratch. There it is. Okay. Here we are. I mean, 90-minute money flow crossover into the green. Daily green dot. Not printing just yet. Looking to print with a potential money flow crossover. I mean, you're at key support here. This is interesting. This anchored VWAP was respected. It's kind of pulled from a random place. Let's pull it from the low here. Pretty much the same exact anchored VWAP. So, listen, I would say still golden pockets. I mean, this is still your key zone. Nothing has changed here since the last time we looked at it. I understand not everybody in here was here last time we looked at this, but Value area low, 786 anchored VWAP. This is the key level of support. Hold this, get accepted into the range, could get the bigger move up towards the POC. I'll be honest, I want to keep it simple here. If that daily green dot prints, that 90-minute money flow continues up, check the 2-day. Yeah, 2-day, again, it's like mixed, man. High time frame VWAPs rolling over. But again, these take time to print. So you could potentially get a push back to the upside. I mean, look at that 5-day money flow crossing over into the green. Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. You deviated below the low. You got back into the value area. You're now testing the value area low. As long as you don't break that 786 and anchored VWAP, preferably, you could hold and get the push up towards that POC. That's what I would look at. You know, if you pull from, I mean, I don't even know if I would pull it from here. Yeah, I mean, that anchored VWAP is really it, man. I would really just, if you do come back down, I would look to hold the anchored VWAP. Like, this is your biggest key level. Lose that. 786 sitting at about 17 cents. But other than that, just like contextually, money flow, like even if you get the bigger pullback, this money flow doesn't look that bad. This is the only thing that's a little suspicious on HBAR and a lot of the altcoins. And I guess Bitcoin as well. Like these high time frame VWAPs are rolling over, which could indicate that we are, maybe get a bigger pullback. But again, these take a long time to play out. You could easily get a push up and then, then see that roll over. But we'll have to keep an eye on it. Nice bull div into the value area low, just locally. Yeah, 80 and 90-minute money flow crossing. Let's check the 16-hour. Yeah, I mean, listen, not a signal, but just generally to kind of show how these play, how I typically look at these, like for long-term moves, like for a swing trade. You get accepted into this range. I mean, even this is like, I mean, it's a 15% stop loss. But like, yeah, I mean, like you hold above this value area low. I mean, I just never really, even on a swing trade, I don't like having a huge stop loss like that. But like you stay inside this value area low. That daily green dot prints, I think is a pretty good possibility that you at least come up, if not push into the POC. Not a signal. I want to be very clear. Every time I pull this up on the chart does not mean long now, short now, or anything like that. I'm just using this to kind of show the thought process where it's like, hey, pretty good risk to reward, right? Because you don't really want to lose this anchored VWAP golden pocket. And then if you hold that value area low, even if, next likely place for price to go is the POC, like even here, right? You come to the low, deviate, back in, POC. Right? So if you're able to get something like that, the risk to reward is pretty good, right? And then that would be like a TP1. And then at that point, you could potentially move your stop loss to break even, right? And then you're just in a guaranteed winning trade. If it comes back out and loses the value area low, you're stopped out in massive profit. If it flips the POC and goes to the value area high, you long the bottom, right? And again, not a trade signal or anything like that. I'm not saying that you should long it right here. You have to make your own decisions. But I'm just saying, if you were to get confirmation down here, I could try to front run some of this. Hang on. What's that 4-hour doing? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're bouncing off the value area low. If you do come down to the golden, back down to the anchored VWAP to test it one more time, could potentially look for just like continued 4-hour bullish divergences because this 4-hour money flow is still in the red. There's still like a lot of mixed signals, to be honest. But just the general idea of testing that low. Once you lose the value area low, though, you're probably going down towards the golden pocket. So that's what I would look at on HBAR. Hey, yo, shout out to Golden, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. Gifted another 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Is there enough people in here right now at the end of the stream to get those 50 memberships? There should be. Let's go, Golden. Everybody is now a member. Look at all the green names in the chat now. Shout out to Lasers Go Pew Pew. Shout out to Slim Dot, just got a membership. Let's see. Vegas Claw. Come on, Vegas. Come on, Vegas. Vegas Claw's got to get one. Come on. If BTC pumps, HBAR will rip to the upside. Shout out to Crypto Surfer. Would not be unlikely. Let's go. Yo, Vegas Claw said Golden has more money than Warren Buffett. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, hey, these memberships, guys, are not cheap. I'll tell you that. I want one. Shout out to Mood. Shout out to you. You just got to make sure your membership gifting is enabled in your YouTube settings. Real quick, guys, shout out to Golden. Let's take one last look at Whiff, which, let's pull this up real quick. Come on, I keep accidentally clicking the dang wrong chart. Where is it? Is it the XC chart? Maybe it's this one. Where is my actual whiff chart that we've been looking at? I guess not. I'll just take a look at the buy bet perp chart. Okay, so you have your very clear sideways range here. Bada boom. Bada bing. Value very low, POC, value very high. Okay, so this is the major range, obviously, that I would be looking at. Massive loss of the range. Oh my God, it's going to zero. Bull divs at the low on the 3-day. Higher lows, lower lows, big push up. This is the big level to break. Biggest key level on this chart right now, in my opinion, coming up, is between 141 and 156. Once you break that, I mean, chances of breaking out here, coming up through the rest of the profile is pretty high in my opinion, right? Because when you have the POC and the value area low so close to each other, once you flip that, right, usually you have a midpoint in the middle of the range to stop at, which is the POC, but that POC is already here, right? So you might encounter a little bit more resistance at the low, but once you flip it, might be able to look for that big push up to the value area high. So that is the biggest macro level of resistance, in my opinion, right? Just naturally, that's what I'm going to be looking at. 3-day red dot printing, key levels to the downside. Let's pull up some MPOCs real quick. I don't even think you're going to come down that low, to be honest. Not impossible, obviously, but let's see. Weekly MPOC. Weekly MPOC. Weekly MPOC. Yeah, this is definitely the next major target to the upside. Like, as long as this thing doesn't go to zero, that would be the next target for sure. Do you have a monthly MPOC in there as well? No monthly MPOC, unfortunately. Yeah, you got a ton of dailies underneath you. I'm just going to mark out the daily horizontals. Let's see. Daily here. That's about it. You got another daily down there, but I don't know if you're going that low. Let's pull this lower range. Okay, so these are some levels that I'd be looking at on whiff. Boom. Got your low, POC, value area high. Okay, so if you pull back here, right, if you get a bigger pullback, you do have the high time frame red dots. These are the two key levels that I would look at, right? You have your daily, and then you have your 786 value area high. I like the confluence here a bit better. 786 value area high again, right? Like just like Bitcoin when it broke out of its local range, we came back down, retested the high before going up. These would be two big levels. This first one is sitting between 91 cents and 80 cents, and then just below that you have your value area high 786 confluence sitting at about 69 cents. Giggity, right? Just extend that over. Bada boom. So yeah, these would be the two biggest levels. You don't really want to get accepted back in here, right? Because at that point you're looking for the POC and potentially the value area low, which, yeah, I wouldn't want to go down there. You definitely want to hold this POC, if anything, right? I mean, I would much prefer hold the other, even extend this down a little bit. So key level number one, I want to be shocked if you pull back a little more than that, but you don't really want to lose this value area high. If you do, POC 786 down below at about 55 cents, but hopefully you could just keep this uptrend going, right? Key support number one, key support number two, I prefer not to lose this, but if you do, technically, you could bounce off the POC. That would be what I'm looking at. And then once you break up, this is obviously the key level to get above. Doorway to higher prices, sitting really at the POC at about $1.56. One more quick check-in on Bitcoin. Jumping in here to our yeah, I mean, we'll see, guys. We've back-tested that 786's support. As long as we can hold above this, we could be looking up towards our next targets, sitting at the daily and weekly MPOC. Very nice to see that we broke above that weekly MPO, that 786. Boom. Hopefully, we were correct yesterday about that being the doorway to higher prices. If we, the bearish sign here, and I wouldn't even really call this bearish. I wouldn't really, to be honest with you, I wouldn't really start flipping like really bearish. Number one, you don't want to get accepted back into the value area high, but even so, you could still just like continue up if you just continue grinding those higher lows. But really, it's like if we come down and start losing this range, right, this scalp volume profile that we've been looking at, you start losing that. That's where I'm saying, I'm flipping a little bit more bearish. But, I mean, as of right now, the context has been absolutely spot on, and that is even going against my general thought process of what we look at on the value areas, right? Like, and this is very important in trading, guys. You have to be willing to understand that context is always going to be king. Regardless of your signals, you could have a bearish divergence on any time frame you want. It does not mean it's going to play out if you're in a massive uptrend. If you're in a massive uptrend, you have massive bearish divergences. Sure, could you get a pullback? Yes, but sometimes it just winds up being sideways consolidation or even just a lackluster pullback for a higher low and a higher high. The trend remains bullish. That's what we're looking at. Stay above the 786. We're looking to push into the daily and weekly MPOCs at 107,933 and 108,999. Will we hit it? Only time will tell. But it's looking good as long as we hold above that value area high. But, guys, did I hit the right button? With all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I went pretty late tonight, but I wanted to cover everything. It's exciting. Prices pumping. Golden's dropping the gifted memberships. I appreciate everybody for being here and spending your precious time with the CandleMafia and your boy Frankie Candles. By the way, guys, you might think to yourself, Frankie Candles always has hat hair, I bet. Not a chance. Anyway, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see the Mafia in the Premium Discord. Until tomorrow, that's all I got. Hasta pasta. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have them two bells ready. Spin it for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside.